Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So in today's video we're talking about the Leave Canada movement. It was something I found out about after I did that video about leaving Canada, and I think it's an important topic to discuss right now because it is kind of sad. And this video isn't negative, it's just discussing a topic, something that's happening right now that I think is important to discuss. So without further ado guys, let's do this. Alright guys, so it is 4:50 a.m. in the morning. The moon is shining bright here, the stars are all out. I'm in the YouTube studio. So let's talk about it, the Leave Canada movement. So after the last video, somebody messaged me on Instagram, Tom, and said, and thank you Tom for saying about this, and they said, there's this Leave Canada movement on YouTube and you should check it out. And I did check it out, so thanks for the heads up about that. And I thought, you know, let's do a video on this because it is something that nobody is really talking about. And if you want to see about this, then just search hashtag Leave Canada in YouTube and you'll see all these videos that have been done, literally most of them over the past year and 2020, about people leaving Canada. Now, it's kind of sad in a way that lots of entrepreneurs and young people are leaving Canada. And why is that? Why is that happening? And we're going to talk about that in this video because I think it needs to be talked about because it is a big issue. It's an issue for a lot of people and it's just not being talked about enough. The thing is, a lot of people move from other places to Canada and they just don't understand how expensive it is to live here. Now, if you're coming from the UK, it's probably going to be a similar cost, if not cheaper, for a lot of different things like cars. But the fact is that it's very, very expensive here. Rents are very, very high. There's just nowhere that seems to be affordable anymore, and that is pushing a lot of people to leave. And not only that, there is a lot of red tape. There's a lot of BS when it comes to doing business in Canada. There's so many regulations and different things, whereas compared to other countries, they just make it much, much easier to do business than in Canada. And that's one of the reasons I want to leave, to be honest, is because doing business in Canada is so difficult. Like, if I want to do business in the industry that I want to do business in, it is heavily regulated here in Canada. I mean, I would literally have to go and do all these different things, pay for all these different things to get my business in a place where then it was regulated in Canada. And to be honest, why would I do that when I can go to another country? I can pay less taxes, I can have a lower cost of living, I can have better health care, I can live in a place that's warm. Well, it just doesn't make sense, does it? And that's the thing, a lot of people are becoming remote workers. You know, I myself am a remote worker. So if you're working remote and you're thinking about moving to a new country, it's creating a new movement now of expats. And the thing is, expats traditionally would like move to countries and big cities and everything like that, but the fact is they don't have to do that anymore. The fact is that the economy has evolved in such a point that if you work in IT like me, you can pretty much work from anywhere in the world. And that's going to lead to a lot of people just moving to lower cost countries. And you're going to see those lower cost countries, well, they're going to be more interesting, more booming economies than places like Canada and the UK and the US and certain places in Europe. And people just don't realize that. They think that these Western countries are the pinnacle of economic success and they are the pinnacle of capitalism. But when you really look at these countries, it's just quantitatively eased capitalism. It's been like that since the 2000s. It's been like that for the longest period of time. The government just propping up industries, and that is literally the way it goes here. And not only that, people are sick of the lockdowns. The lockdowns and everything that's happened during the pandemic has really took its toll on people's mental health. Here in Alberta, we haven't had very strict lockdowns at all compared to other places like Ontario. But, you know, people have had enough. Like, even here in Alberta, people have just had enough, like, of being stuck in this province. And the fact is that all these lockdowns that have essentially been for your health, you've seen a big spike in drinking and smoking. There's been some UK studies and polls and surveys that have been done that have just come out with this, saying that heavy drinking went up during the pandemic, saying that more young people are becoming smokers right now. The percentage jump is quite worrying. And that is going to affect people's health even more, but people just don't think about it. The thing is, to say this pandemic is not about politics is just like, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, this pandemic is all about politics, okay? And I'm not going to go into detail very much because YouTube will censor the video, and they might censor the video anyway. I have no idea, so you might never see this video. It might just be in the abyss of YouTube and hidden away in a little corner and you just don't see it. I don't know. But the Leave Canada movement is a real thing, and I think people are just waking up. People are just waking up and they're saying, you know what, why do I live here? Like, it's so expensive. If you live in Toronto, it's more expensive than New York, it's more expensive than LA. People are just waking up and going, why the heck do I live here? There are so many places I could move to. I could move to Mexico, I could move to Thailand, I could move to Costa Rica, I could move to Barbados. They would all be much, much cheaper than Toronto, and they're all much, much nicer places. But anyway, the amount of entrepreneurs leaving is kind of a sign of what's to come. It's like a brain drain that people have been talking about has been happening in Alberta for a long time, because there's not any jobs here. Like, to progress your career here in Alberta would be very, very difficult because there's not loads of jobs here. And of course there is jobs here, there's not as many as you think. But anyway, this Leave Canada thing is kind of crazy. A lot of entrepreneurs are leaving. It's pretty sad. It's a failure of government, but it's not going to change. And that's the thing. People think like voting one of these parties in is going to change it. It's not going to change it. It will be exactly the thing. These parties, they stand for the banking system. They stand for power. They do not stand for the people anymore. At election time, it's always funny because they come out with this facade that is, yes, we are for the people. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And when it comes down to it, they don't do it. And that is just the fact of what happens. Don't get me wrong, I do think it's a good idea to have changes in power more often, instead of just having the incumbent party being the party that's mostly in power for the next 10-15 years. You've got to flip and change that power a little bit, at least to a new party every election, to keep them on their toes, instead of thinking that they have us and then they think they can do what they want, like Justin Trudeau and the Liberals right now here in Canada. So anyway guys, the Leave Canada movement, there it is. There's what I think about it, and that's what's happening. If you're interested in that, search hashtag Leave Canada. So thank you for watching this video guys. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for being here. This channel is a journey, the journey of my life, and you're seeing it play out right before your eyes, and I hope you're enjoying it. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love as always. Bye bye.